Hello, everyone. Welcome to Divine Debut 11. This is Kathy speaking. Thank you so much for joining us here on the 9th of December of 2025. And the messenger is here. I hope everything is okay under the energies that we are experiencing. That Mars through Sagittarius squaring over to Saturn in Pisces, especially affecting the immutable signs, of course. Sagittarius, Gemini, Virgo and Pisces. If you've got placements there at the last decan, the last 10 days, Mars is the action, it's the will, the drive, the energy, the anger, the passion, and it's finding a square, it's connected to Saturn through a square aspect, which is a challenging aspect. Mars wants to move forward. Saturn is the law saying, not yet. You're not allowed to get through. These are barriers, these are blockages, they are limitations. I don't know if you've heard the news of what's going on in Greece. There's a lot going on. All the farmers, truck drivers, a lot of groups of people that are very unhappy with the government. They are coming out and speaking up, and there are a lot of roadblocks. So getting from one state, from one city, let's say, to another, it's very hard. So most of you are already aware of what's going on. I'd love to hear what's going on for you. What is this Mars squaring Saturn? What situation is it that is not letting us move forward and saying not yet, right? The month of December is the last month of the year of 2025. So we're talking about something that's coming to a completion. Obviously, it is a 9-year that we are finishing up and moving into a number 10 year, which breaks down to an ace. So lots of endings. To me, December is like going through a birthing process. It's like a spirit is saying, wait. Something is showing on the horizon, but wait until January. Let's see what spirit wants to advise. Whenever you watch this, or roughly around the beginning of December, 9th, 10th, what's going on? There's a contract. This could be a soul contract. It could be a physical contract. It could be a marriage. It could be an agreement. To me, of course, this is Libra energy. We see the scales. It is like a card of justice. So the scales possibly will be coming into balance and into alignment. And some of you may be dealing with legal issues, anything to do with the law. But to me, this is a very karmic card. It came out in the upright, which is saying whatever's happening now is possibly, it's meant to be. It's karmic, right? So run with the energies, whatever's going on for you and in your life right now. Know that things are starting. They will come into balance and into reciprocity. You will reap what you've sown. We all will. I truly believe in that. So let's see what's going on energetically as we do read the energies where the messenger is here. All the love readings for December are up on Patreon. They will be released after the 20th of the month. As many of you know, I'm in transit, so I will be back in Athens in a couple of days. Let's see how many hours it's going to take for me as I'm going by coach. With the closure of many main arteries in Greece and with all the trouble that's going on, it's like a pimple that is growing and it's going to burst at some point. So logically, the astrology is right on point. Of course, you would need to look at the astrological chart of each country, but if you're not looking at the astrology, just energetically, you feel it. We all feel it, that there are big changes ahead, but they come through crisis and through hardships. Now, what did I want to tell you as well? Venus is going to come up from Sagittarius. She's going to square the nodes. So where money, love, self-worth, values, and peace is concerned, whatever's playing out that is difficult is asking for change. Okay, so you may feel that there are blockages, that you're feeling you've got a lot of pressure, things are not working out the way you hope. This is coming up in the next few days. There's a lot of promise, great promise in the month of January, I'm going to say now. So, as I said, December is not an easy month. There are a lot of blockages and a lot of limitations. Maybe it's not time. Remember, the planets have gone back. Saturn, Neptune are closing up a major 3 years and 14 years through the sign of Pisces. They will return back to Aries in the beginning of next year. And then we've got Uranus that's gone back to Taurus, right? Will return back to Gemini. As I said, the mutable signs haven't had it easy at all, but there's a lot of promise in 2026 relative to the fire signs and the air signs. Also, going back to Patreon, yes, the love readings are all up. Also, the month ahead astrology is up, and we've got a forthcoming new moon in Sagittarius. We'll be doing that video very soon as well. If you're not on Patreon, do consider joining us, as we do talk a lot about the astrology there, right? And the individual tarot love readings are also there, but they're released to the public a little bit later. We'll see what changes 2026 is going to bring. It's a very promising year that's going to bring lots of change, lots of endings, new beginnings. So calling on Spirit's guidance, what's going on, as there is a contract on the horizon. This could be the ending, or it could be the beginning of a contract, an agreement, anything you're signing. Mercury is now direct in the sign of Scorpio still, and bringing up a lot that's been hidden. But I would say after the 15th, I mean, you can move forward now. And Mercury does speak to travel, even though Mercury is going to come up to square Saturn as well. Mercury is actually opposite Uranus. Mercury from Scorpio is going to oppose Uranus in Taurus. So expect big changes, big surprising events, lots of information about change, freedom, breakthroughs, breaking out. You know, Mercury is the internet, so is Uranus. Remember, it's the left brain, right brain. Mercury is the left, the logic. Uranus is the right brain, the linear. So expect news coming from above as well. Downloads. You're seeing numbers, you're seeing signs. We're in the energy of it already. So let's see what Spirit is wanting to reiterate here and tell us about how the energies are playing out. We've got some challenges, but we've got some help as well, because Mercury is in a very positive aspect, now direct from Scorpio over to Pisces, where Saturn, Neptune are. Anyway, as I said, we talk a lot about that on Patreon. So forewarned is forearmed. Let's see what is possibly going on right now. What are the general energies? We have the Magician. So Mercury, this is Mercury. It's an ace. Mercury does rule Gemini and Virgo. With the ending of Saturn, Neptune in Pisces, the mutable signs, of course, Virgo, Pisces, Sagittarius, and Gemini, which have had it very tough, very rough, especially those with placements at the last degrees. Things are going to change, right? And we know that the Magician is an alignment of the stars, saying that there is a possible new beginning. Spirit helps us move forward with a new beginning. And Mercury is about business, could be about contracts, collaboration with a small group of people. Good news concerning health as well, because Mercury rules Virgo. But there can be a little bit of misunderstandings, a little bit of trickery here, as we're not reading reversals. That's the recent past position. What's going on in the now? Knight of Swords, Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. Lots of communication, lots of communication. This is the opposition of Mercury and Uranus. surely. Lots of communication, talks about legalities, contracts, anything that is that is written, spoken, communicated. Now, the Knight of Swords could be a little bit of frustration and anger, and we see that because we want to move forward, but remember that Mercury is still transiting through his shadow until the 15th of the month. So there are still things that are evolving, unfolding relative to Mercury. Is very difficult to retrograde since October, November. Okay, all right, Mercury retrogrades for 3 weeks, but when he enters his shadow, the degrees he's going to retrograde over, the story starts there. So it's been a tough one. It really, really has. But things are starting to unfold. I don't know about you. I mean, I'll give you an example. We were trying to sell a car. Anything that gives you mobility is Mercury. We've been trying again and again, and Mercury does his retrograde every 3 months. So these are cycles. And we've had a lot of trouble, a lot of people wanting to see it and not happy or not having the money or whatever the blockages were. It looks like now the right person has come at the right time. And that may be unfolding for us very positively, where we can sell that car finally. And that's just an example that I'm giving you relative to what Mercury speaks to. Mercury is not only what we perceive, what we talk, what we write. Mercury does rule going from point A to B, right? Communication, clarity, clear and concise and logical thinking. It rules health, it rules children, it rules business, commerce, right? Okay, I wonder who that is. I'm going to pause just for a second. I want to see if it's one of my kitties. Okay, well, that was Agape. She jumped up on the kitchen bench and she took a hot dog and she had it in her mouth like she caught a mouse or something. Unbelievable. Wow, okay. Like she was really proud of herself and saying, look at what I got. Okay. Let's see what the near future shows. And we've got the Two of Wands, which is like an opening, but it could also be an adjustment, a dilemma. You see the key here, and the key could speak to revelations, openings, opportunities, right? It's a Sagittarian energy, but through hardship, I would say, because Sagittarius, of course, is a very positive sign. It's mutable fire. But Sagittarius squares off to Saturn and Neptune. So there will be adjustments, there will be dilemmas, there will be choices here. And that's what it's showing us in the now. So we see a lot of air, a little bit of earth. We see fire. The energies can be quite explosive, my dear friends. So let's see what's going on. Thank you, Spirit, for your guidance. What is going on energetically? We've got the Seven of Swords, and the Seven of Swords is the thief, right? It could speak to tact, it could speak to diplomacy, sneakiness, theft. Do lock your doors. We've got a thief here. We've got a rat, let's say, in the house. There's something to do with deception or intelligence or someone trying to sneak back into a situation. Something that is unknown. What is the challenge? We've got the Four of Pentacles. So this can speak to theft, physical theft, because the Four of Coins is someone that doesn't have enough, right? This is the miser. Do take care. Lock your doors, lock your windows. All right. Now, if this is in relationship, it speaks to someone not being open and trying to sneak back in, holding back on their emotions, holding back on their financial situation. This is someone trying to steal. I don't know what they're stealing. Are they stealing something of value? Is this someone holding back on their true emotions, that what they're not communicating, what they're tactful with, is that someone's stolen off with someone's heart? Why am I saying heart? Because usually in the Four of Pentacles, right, It shows someone protecting their heart or someone not being open with their heart. You know, being open with our heart is generosity, whether it's emotional, whether it's, you know, because sometimes love comes through actions, through nurturing and providing, even physical. By physical means, we can show our love for someone, our devotion, right? Let's see what's crowning here. We've got the Ten of Wands, which is a heavy burden, or the completion of that. We see this person bogged down. Something is weighing very heavily on his mind. It could be about business. It could be what they desire. It could be the new beginning that they're after, but they're dealing with a lot, right? And of course it turns into the Ace of Wands, which could be the light is coming on. Something may be revealed about someone's hardships. It could be financial hardships. It could be something to do with loss and theft again, I'm going to say. We've got the Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups in the distant past position. Eight of Cups, someone being unhappy, having emotionally checked out of a situation and moved on, right? Pisces energy. It's about an ending. And Pisces is the natural 12th house, a very karmic house, of course, of endings, things going on behind the scenes, right? This could also be that someone may have done various cycles wanting to complete something. Maybe that was very secretive. Maybe there will be revelations about things going on behind our backs that are unknown, that may be revealed now, which may help bring that ending, but in a difficult way, in a heavy sort of a way. But remember that we're closing off this major life cycle now relative to the house of Pisces. For all of us, where is Pisces in our chart? What does it rule for you? In the recent past, we've got the Six of Wands, Leo, Sagittarius or Aries. It does show victory. It shows, this is Jupiter in Leo. You could see the little signs there, right? We've got Leo here and we've got Jupiter. So Jupiter will enter Leo in summer next year, in 2026. This is a card of recognition, someone pulling something off, someone that is well known in their community, someone that is applauded, that they've accomplished something. Maybe also, this could be a project, this could be any situation that someone is pulling off through tact, through intelligence, but they're still in the miser, I don't have enough, or I'm not recognized energy of, where someone needs to understand, be more intelligent, that things are changing, and release the emotional letdown, let's say, of the past. So even where career is concerned, any changes in career are forthcoming, that there is recognition. Maybe you're not seeing it yet, and that's why there's a bit of heaviness here with the Ten of Wands. It feels like something is trying to break through, but someone doesn't believe it, or they haven't actually seen it yet. What is the possible outcome? And we've got the Seven of Cups, which may speak to many openings, many opportunities, right? You may not be totally clear about yet. And in a couple of days, we've got Neptune that's turning direct in the sign of Pisces. Saturn has already turned direct in Pisces. Let's take another layer. What is this Seven of Swords and the Four of Pentacles? We've got a King of Wands, Leo, Sagittarius or Aries, someone that's very powerful, someone that's very tactful. Yes, this could speak to career or to do with our strategy, our the ability to create, to take action. There is great power in the King of Wands. Remember, he could be someone that's very flirtatious, someone that's very creative, someone that sits in a powerful position, someone that may also hold a little bit of ego and sort of hold back on their vulnerabilities because of distrust. What is the challenge? The Strength card. So this King of Wands, I don't know if they would have been in the upright, maybe has shown a sense of weakness in the past. Maybe now they're summoning up the energy, the power, even though they may be finding blockages with Saturn. They may need a little bit of time to be tactful, to instead of going forth straight ahead and just like the ram does, right? Finding a brick wall, they're tactfully finding a way to create, and also maybe also holding back on their vulnerabilities. But this could also be like a mask where they've been bogged down, they've been weighed heavily, but they're not showing that because it's like a sign of weakness. So I don't know who this is in your life. It could be a boss, it could be a partnership, it could be anyone in your life, but this would be someone that emotionally has checked out of a situation where they did not find their happiness, and they've got opportunities for a new beginning and many opportunities here. But because we go from the Eight of Cups to the Seven of Cups, it's like they're taking a step back, looking at something to do with the past. We've still got retrogrades in the sky. The story may also be playing out all the way until, April, May, even summer for some of you. Why do we have the Eight of Cups at the foundation? We've got the Star card. So someone left a situation, they checked out of a situation, maybe there wasn't enough truth, or maybe they did speak their truth, because Aquarius does speak to a wish fulfillment. Their wish fulfillment was not where they were emotionally. They could see, they had hope towards the future where they could make the changes, right? Aquarius and the Star. The Star comes after the Tower. So maybe someone's been enlightened about emotionally where they can find those 10 cups, right? Now the Star also speaks to possible a wish fulfillment, but in the future, right? Now the Aquarius season may be very significant as we're around the corner from that. The Star can also speak to social media, the internet, anything to do with a business. Yeah, because, we've got Wands, so they do speak to vocation. We also had Pentacles, which speak to someone's money. So, of course, Wands also speak to our desire and where is it that we're wanting to put our energy. And the Star, of course, the Star is all about someone following their truth, even though it may be a little bit tough. Remember, Pluto is in Aquarius. This could speak to communication with someone that's at a physical distance. What else? We've got the Lovers. So choices. If this is a love connection, this is a twin flame where someone is leaving behind a relationship. Maybe they could not give them everything that they hoped for. And the Lovers, of course, is usually a very important love connection. It does speak to dilemmas, right? Someone looking at things from a much logical point of view. We've got Mercury and Uranus again. So the linear logic, left brain, and the higher mind, right? The more spiritual side of things, where you may be dealing with a twin flame, where there's a spiritual connection. You're connecting on a higher level with someone, even if you're not talking, you're not communicating. Remember that Uranus had ingressed into Gemini, so lots of dilemmas, curiosity, lots to do with choices. But remember that, as I said, 2026 is going to be a very significant year for the air signs and the fire signs, where there are new beginnings. Now, I know Gemini hasn't had it easy at all as well. Jupiter had recently finished up in Gemini, but there were issues because of Saturn and Neptune through Pisces. So Gemini did not get their rewards really with Jupiter, the planet of abundance and, protection and receiving the harvest and being very lucky. So maybe it's time. Maybe it was necessary for things to take a little bit longer. And I do feel it's got a lot to do with Saturn and Neptune. Let's see. Maybe there was confusion, illusion, misunderstandings. What is the Six of Wands? Oh my God, we've got a reverse Two of Cups, and I'm not reading reversals. Maybe this could speak to a disagreement. For some of you, the reversal to me does go back to the Ace of Cups. Maybe these are cups that were spilt because of someone's ego, because of someone's lack of confidence or complexes relative to a connection or even a contract. Remember, the scales speak to balance. It is a 6. The Lovers is also a 6. Going back to square one, starting over again, but needing to release any wounding, any hurt. Remember, Jupiter through Cancer in his exaltation is squaring over to Chiron, which is an open wound. It's a wound that we're carrying. Could speak to our subconscious, childhood, past lifetimes. Why did we have that Two of Cups? Why do we have that Two of Cups, especially in the reverse? We've got the Hanging Man. So yes, something needs to be released before these cups can be turned upright. Also, humbling, because the Pisces is unconditional love. It's not the Leo energy, which is fixed, which is very proud, which could be sometimes even quite egotistical, the shadow side of Leo and the fixed signs. So something needs to be released. Someone needs to see things, needed time to see things from a different perspective. And there may also be secrets relative to someone that is acknowledged, well-known. They've got a reputation. They've made a name for themselves in their society. Maybe that's why they're very secretive. But things are quite heavy. They may be coming to an end, the heaviness with the 10 of Wands. Let's see. Yeah, 9 of Wands. That is an ending, surely. There's heaviness. There are challenges. I want to move forward, but I'm not allowed. My responsibilities, my name, my reputation, whatever that is, has brought a lot of heaviness. Now, remember that Mars also from Sag is squaring over to Saturn and then Neptune. Some people are getting sick. They're feeling weak, lethargic. That will be feeling for the next few days. It's like you're trying to press on the accelerator, but there's no gas in your tank, right? There's no more energy left, and there may be anger, frustration. Let's see. And we've got the Two of Swords. Two of Swords and Libra. So it's relationships, it's partnerships in business. It's other people. And of course, Libra is the natural 7th house. This speaks to adjustments, dilemmas, and choices. We saw the Two of Wands, remember. Let's see what the 7 of Cups and the outcome is. We've got the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands. Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. And we've got a Page of Cups. Page of Cups is Pisces. Could be Cancer, could be Scorpio. There's something that's going on here. It's like a revisiting the past. 8 Cups. It's got a lot to do with the past. This reading is deeply rooted in the past with the 8 of Cups, where someone wasn't emotionally happy. Now, because maybe there were dilemmas, there were choices with the Lovers here. And we've got the Two of Swords here. And we saw the Two of Wands. What's that sitting on? We've got the 5 of Swords. So battles, mind games, legalities, a fear of trouble, right? Third-party situations. What's beneath that? And we've got the Devil. So there again, this could speak to fear. I don't want any trouble with the law, says someone here. I've got a name, a reputation to protect. I don't want to be any part of this, right? So it's a difficult choice. But remember that the 5 of Swords can also speak to tact and intelligence, because he's got the ability through his intelligent mind to take the swords right, from the others that he's in competition with. This could be internal conflict as well. Now, it could be relative to an offer, an apology, even a child, because we've got the Page of Cups, which is all these things that I just mentioned, and this could also speak to an offer. It's interesting. The Queen of Wands is very powerful as well. She knows what she wants. She can create the story on her own. She is very creative. She's very powerful. And she turns her back on an offer maybe that's not good enough. It's not big enough for her. But I do feel like there's a return to the past. Right? Now I'm going to say trust your intuition, because the Queen of Wands is someone that is very intuitive. She is usually very lucky. Let's take one more on that Page of Cups. And we've got the Ace of Swords. So this speaks to decision. This speaks to victory. It speaks to being very decisive, clearing the air, because the Seven of Cups can be very confusing. The illusion, the deception. But the Ace of Swords is all about clarity. So again, we've got another ace here. Typically it's like we've got three aces, even though they're not showing up fully, because we've got the Ten of Wands here and the Two of Cups, which goes back to the Ace of Cups for me. There is the potential for new beginnings here, but the air needs to be cleared. The Hanging Man, remember, someone needs to see things from a different perspective, release any victimhood or blockages or fears of an ending. This may be costing someone financially and emotionally. Look at the coins that are just being lost here. So these changes may also be costing someone financially, very much so. It can be anything legal as well. I mean, this would be a couple usually, and we've got a child here. So I don't know if anyone is going through something legal here. I want to take one card on the King of Wands and the Strength card. We've got the Queen of Coins here. My goodness, another figure. Queen of Coins, minor arcana of the Empress. Earth, stable, sincere, patient, very motherly, financially in a good place usually. Queen of Coins. She knows what she wants. She's going to wait forever. Queen of Coins. She could also be someone that is helping financially, right? As we've got two divine feminine and a divine masculine here. Queen of Coins. We know she's she sits in the Garden of Eden. She's very abundant. Either that, or she will take nothing more than the physicality, the practical side of life. She needs to see the money. She's not only about desire, passion, and action. She's about the goal itself. Remember that the Queen of Coins is the most experienced queen in the deck. But she's also she's just very slow moving. She will not take action. But as I said, she knows what she wants. As you could see, her third eye is lit up here, so she's trusting her intuition. She knows what she wants. And she also she knows her value. Now, if this King of Wands is not giving her what she knows she is worth, she's not budging, right? And she may also be not taking any action, being more waiting at the sideline. I don't know if this is the same person, right, with the Queen of Wands, because she's sitting on the Seven of Cups, which can speak that she can be quite deceptive, or she doesn't see things clearly. She acts before everything is clear. She could also be someone that's quite deceptive, of course. But also, if she's the same person, through taking the action and showing her the fire within her, and that she is going to meet the King of Wands halfway, then things may clear. But she is also very courageous, that she can take this sword and clear the air and speak her truth, that this offer is not good enough, it's not enough for her. And she may also be part of the story from the deep past, right? Let's see what else we've got. For some of you, if she is like the Queen of Coins, same person, I mean, this could be Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus. This could be a Leo, Virgo, Casper. She could also be someone that is going to take a risk. That is someone that's going to take a risk and run with her instinct, with her intuition, that even though things are not totally clear, she'll be able to get to that new beginning. Let's see what's going on in the psyche, what's going on in the emotions. We've got an ascension process here. Travel may also be on the cards, where you need to, pass over water. To me, this is more of an ascension process, more of a spiritual card. We've got guidance, so someone knows which way they're heading. They've seen the light. The guide card is the Hermit, so we do have, there was a little bit of, internalizing, being in the position to see the situation, the reality of a situation, because Virgo is very good with the details, or someone has seen the light themselves through possible guidance through others as well. And we've got this cycle. So to me, on this cycle, because this is, to me, is a Saturnian cycle card, and we see the rose, there's a surprise. Someone does not know that on this cycle the gifts are coming in. The Saturnian payout that has been blocked, whatever that means for you. No more settling. I feel that this is no more staying back, holding back and settling, or someone is waiting for the opportunity here. And with the ending of Saturn through Pisces, because that's where the eclipses are also happening, Pisces, Virgo axis, there won't be any stuck energies. It's like we're releasing the past and moving forward. We've got an offer which may be a little bit secretive, not totally in the light, seen yet. Let's see one more. We've got self-worth. This is relative to someone knowing their self-worth, or someone being free, because this to me is the Aquarius energy. It's the breakthrough, the breaking out. And of course, Uranus rules Aquarius and is in Taurus. So big changes where financial situations are concerned, matters pertaining to self-worth, big changes where contracts, agreements and disagreements, and even anything to do with law is concerned, because swords are all about air, and air can also speak to, of course, matters pertaining to law. We've got vibrations. Trust your intuition. The divine feminine is picking up on the energies. What's going on? There's a fresh start. There's an opportunity here. And that's what you're realizing with the understanding card. It's like connection to the divine and to spirit. Let's take 3 Lenormand and see what else may be coming through. There may have been blockages where matters pertaining to parents who've got children here, children or even grandchildren. I mean, Queen of Coins, Queen of Wands could also be a collaboration, a friend. Queen of Coins could also be a motherly figure. let's see, there is settling can also speak to a settlement, and it involves children as well. So making an agreement, signing on the dotted line, some sort of a contract, an agreement. What's coming through, the choices, the dilemmas, the fears. We've got the bridges. It breaks down to an 11. Yeah, this sort of wanted to open up before, but it didn't, and it involves a risk. So we've got 38 and 39. There's a transition. And what does this risk involve? Wow. And number 41. So we're missing number 40, 38, 39, 41. The well, which can speak to a lot of things being revealed relative to emotions. I mean, we've got a grand water trine that's been happening in the sky, the flowing energies and the opportunities for change, for emotional change, but also strong psychic abilities. Trust in what you're receiving from your higher self. A lot of the hidden emotions or secrets coming up to the surface. And there's a lot of abundance in this, surely. And I don't usually get this with this card, but this is like someone's thirst being quenched, like emotionally they're receiving what they wanted. They were in a position of being unnurtured, unprovided, and very thirsty and wanting something very, very strongly. And the Tower, of course, could speak to limitations, but also the red tape. Some sort of delays here. Very strongly Neptune, Saturn. One more. And we've got the whip, another 11. And the whip can speak to conflict, legalities. And this could mean, the necessity for delays, Saturnian delays, is bringing a little bit of conflict, a little bit of anger and frustration. But what happens after that? The whip to me is like the 5 of Wands, so there could be conflicts. Yeah, there's an ending. There's something is quickly going to be cleared. The scythe is very much the Ace of Swords for me, and it is a 10. And we've got like the Queen of Pentacles here, very similar to the Queen of Pentacles. This could be Queen of Pentacles, could be like the Queen of Cups for me in this Lenormand deck, right? So, because she's also holding a book. So she's someone who loves to read, someone that's quite intellectual, someone that's all about the details, someone that's very patient. What is she sitting on? We've got the fox. And the fox is like here, the 7 of Swords. So she needs to be quite tactful, intelligent, or something's going on behind her back. She's not talking about the cross which is heavy, and the 10 of Wands. She's not talking about, I don't know, she may have been dealing with someone that was like the fox, someone that was very deceptive that she may have been dealing with. She may be, there may be revelations for her, a fox being revealed, or spirit revealing things that were hidden. What she doesn't know, what she needed to keep the faith on, is that cross that she's been carrying hides a moment of luck and opportunity that she needs to grab. Maybe a missed opportunity that's returning. We've got the dog, so friendships, loyalty, devotion. These are all themes. Okay. Remember, this is a general reading and may not resonate for everyone. What's going on with this offer and the clearing of the air, the revelations. When may this be happening? Let's take some time cards. I'm going to take 3. Take the card, the time that resonates for you. Timing is very hard to pinpoint. Time is linear, so let's see. Up in the air and the dragonfly. So something is up in the air. There is a metamorphosis. There's also luck, strong spiritual connection as well. big changes, and luck is happening as well for some in autumn. For others of you, could be now, in the now, and try later. And we see looks like an eclipse. I don't know if this is talking about the eclipses in February, March. We see the electrifying, unexpected energy of Uranus, which is going to oppose Mercury in Scorpio, which may bring lots of revelations. Where someone was blocked, they left something till later. They may get a download. And that later is going to be in the now for some people, because there will be, it's pressure. Oppositions could be breakups. They could be like a full moon. You're seeing something that was hidden, right? It's a download, right? Connection to spirit. Oh, my goodness. This is saying nothing, obviously. And we've got in April, spring, in springtime. That could be a very significant time relative to an offer that we've seen here that maybe Spirit didn't want us to know yet. Okay, so we'll leave it at that. Let's take a message now from the Mythic Oracle, which we usually use with the messenger, which we have not used for a while. Let's see what Spirit is talking about at this time. Now remember the dice here also. The dice can speak to a risk, and someone's taking a gamble. Someone that likes to take risks. That's the Leo energy. And Leo is all about the heart, all about generosity, confidence. Someone is going to take a risk to be able to create. Again, Leo is children. And it's also something that we're creating. Wow, okay, thank you, Spirit. We've got two messages. We've got Pan and sexuality, number 21. And we've got Pandora and hope. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful cards. Let's read. Number 21 and number 38. 21. Although Pan's parentage is unclear, he is usually the son of a nymph and possibly Hermes or Apollo. He is a half goat and half man. He is the wild fertility god of the forest and represents our base animal nature as humans. Pan is the god of sexuality, and the tales of his sexual exploits are many. Now it's interesting because sexuality comes up with this energy. Of course, Mercury is in the sign of Scorpio, which does speak to sexuality, secrets, mysteries, even manipulation and jealousy, vindication, secret sexual connections. Pan is the god of sexuality, and the tales of his sexual exploits are many. He has a heavy scent of animal and earth and expresses the raw and wild aspects of nature. Pan is a playful god who is also known for his masterful ability with the reeds we call Pan pipes. The message here says, though many worshipped Pan, they often feared him too, for he represents the uncontrolled, untamable, base animal instinct that is present in every man and every woman. In the throes of sexual experience, a person loses their world identity, and other than death or religious and spiritual ecstasy, it is the only time we truly let ourselves go completely. A sense of oneness is experienced, but it is intense and uncontrolled. The animal nature takes over, and it is violent in passion and all-consuming. This experience is what was feared in Pan, and it is what is still feared today. Sexuality reminds us that we live and we die. We come from the earth, and to the earth we shall return. It is through sexuality that life is born, literally, both literally and metaphorically. We base much of our lives around what we do, and though working hard and being productive is godly, the animal nature is about being, experiencing, and taking the mind beyond the mundane experience of productivity. To become sexually intoxicated is to totally surrender this worldly controlled identity, and when either the inner or outer culture is not in harmony with the animal nature, it breeds shame, fear, and denial. These could also be words of Scorpio, my dear friends. This is a time for connecting to your natural, raw, and wild animal nature. It is a time for bringing balance to this area of your life. Are you ashamed, fearful, frustrated, or bored with the sexual aspects of yourself and your life? The only way to overcome these feelings of agitation or restlessness is to explore and play. This is a time for accepting and embracing this aspect of your nature, a time for feeling wild and connected to life. Let go of your worldly, productive identity for a while and play. And that's what Mars in Sagittarius is all about as well. But remember that challenging aspect over to Saturn. Saturn is the law. It's conservatism. It's how things used to be. Saturn is coldness. Mars is fire. So this is what we need to overcome. And not fear is what Spirit is telling us because of God Pan. Okay, let's go to Pandora now, number 38. Pandora and hope. Pandora, her name means all gifts. Pandora, all gifts. Dora is gifts in Greek. Was crafted by Hephaestus, I can't even say the name, Hephaestus this is in Greek, on the order of Zeus. She was sent as a gift to mankind with a jar. Curious about what the jar contained, she opened it, and all the woes of mankind split forth: hunger, hard labor, disease, and pain. Yet left behind the jar was hope. And I do feel that this is very on point with what's going on in the world and for all of us right now. Why is hope in the jar? Why is hope in the jar with all the sorrows? Is hope the one thing that counteracts all the woes of mankind? Hope is the spark of light that shines inside us no matter what we experience or know about life, and without it we would probably wither and die. To have no hope is to be without reason, and the burden of our inevitable fate would prove ultimately unbearable. It is so true. Faith is a belief held strong. Hope is a prayer. These are two very different things. Regardless of personal beliefs, hope is the prayer that our lives will have meaning. If we are starving in a desert, hope drives us on, and the moment hope is lost, we die. Hope is our connection to possibility, and that is what keeps us going, no matter what. Without hope, we are defeated. If you have pulled this card today, you may have been experiencing a period of confusion, frustration, or even despair. You may also have recently experienced a loss of some kind. This could be as simple as finding that something you had hoped would be present or helpful in your life is not there at this time. And I'd like to pause on that message because Saturn with Neptune in Pisces, some of us may have had the harsh truths of Saturn about a dream or a vision that is no longer available to us, and that we need to close up that story, which may have begun even back in 2011 when Neptune entered Pisces. For some of us, this will ring true. But remember, if that is the case for you, it's like what we don't accomplish, what we don't have, is what Spirit doesn't want for us. So we need to look at the bigger picture. If there is still hope, I would say after Neptune and Saturn, finish in Pisces, so that's in February. After February, if your dream, your vision has not materialized, has not become true, then it's time to move on, my dear friends. No more living in the dream world, okay? This card is letting you know that we can never truly predict the way things are meant to occur in life. We can only take responsibility for ourselves and how we choose to act. The moment we think we know how something should be, it tips on its head and turns out completely different. If something has not worked out, it is for one of two reasons. Either you are not ready for it or there is a better way. Regardless of what is occurring for you, this is a time for renewed hope. A new feeling will begin to brew inside of you, and you may begin to receive signals from the world around you that new opportunity is coming to you now. There is a universe of opportunity available to you right now, but it cannot be found in the old ways or the old places. This is the time for seeking out new paths, feelings, or ideas, and taking new risks. So there's that word, risk. There is that word, and this card explained, my dear friends. So we should be in the energy of the Queen of Wands, not the Queen of Pentacles, which the Queen of Pentacles can speak to stuck energies, and not risking. Earth signs don't risk. Fire signs are more risk takers. So, okay. I think that they were our messages today. I think we'll leave it there. It was a long reading. I hope that this worked for you and gave you some clarity. I want to thank you so much for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting. Always your support, your love, and a special thank you to our patrons, of course. We are coming up to Christmas, my dear friends. So I think I'm going to offer the people that are here, the people that are receiving this message, another special for Christmas, and this is only going to be on the year 2026 readings. So the yearly 2026 tarot reading, it's only a tarot reading, and we will be going through month to month. I'm giving you an opportunity for a 30% off the yearly tarot reading for 2026. It goes for 90 minutes, so I'm willing to give you 30% off. Whoever is interested, they need to email me, divinedebut11@gmail.com, and that special will end in Christmas, by Christmas. It will be up until Christmas, right? And you'll more than likely receive your reading in January. I'm telling you that now. So if you're in urgent need for a 2026 reading, that's not viable right now, as I've got work to do. So that's the last special of the year, I think, as January is going to be a very busy month for me. As most of you know, we are releasing an application which involves coffee, cup reading, dream interpretation, and numerology, as well as astrology. We're working on that, and it will possibly be released possibly right at the beginning of the year. So new beginnings for everyone in certain areas of life. I'm sure that we're all energetically, roughly feeling those energies as things are closing up, and then new opportunities in 2026 as it is a year one. Okay, we'll leave it there. We'll be back tomorrow with a love reading. I want to thank you all so much. So we'll be back tomorrow. Love and light to all of you, and be patient with yourself, with others, and with what's going on in life. We're coming out of 2025. Very importantly, it was a tough year. There's a lot more promise in 2026. Fingers crossed that there will be peace in the world, and abundance for all people. Okay, because a lot of people are going through a lot of financial hardships with all the change that's been going on since 2020. Love and light, my dear friends. Look after yourselves. And I'd also like to say good luck to Barbara. Barbara, good luck with your surgery. We're there thinking of you. I would love it if you would all comment and send your best wishes to Barbara, who's having surgery moving forward in the next couple of days. Wish her good luck and healing. Thank you so much. We are a beautiful family and community here of people that have gone through their awakening. So there aren't that many of us because our videos don't get out to a lot of people because of the algorithm, but at least those that are here are, it's worth the effort. Love and light, everyone. Talk to you tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow.